You're live, your worship.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our regular council meeting for May 23rd. Feels like July, but it's actually May 23rd. Well, there's a couple of amendments, so we'll have a friendly amendment for number 4, Sergeant Roper. They're busy, so when they show up, we'll just ask him to present. So he might fall under 7, he might be 15, we don't know yet. Okay. And then the other amendment is number 15, which is Rapid Housing Initiative, which I will speak to at that point.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda amended. I'll second it.
Thank you, Councillor Hanchar and Councillor Paquette. All in favor? Carried. Adopt the minutes from the committee of the whole meeting of May 2nd, 2023.
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes. I'll second
Thank you, Councillor Hanchar. Thank you, Councillor Paquette. And since our lovely RCMP will be here, they'll go right when they're supposed to.
Hi.
Welcome, we're live, so we'll just, we got 2 more and we'll get to you guys, okay? All right, motion to pay the open payables in the amount of,
I didn't get
I don't have a total,
Sorry, 100.
90,727.
I didn't get to see it.
Make a motion to pay the open payables in the amount of $190,727.88.
You Councillor. You Councillor Burtis. Any questions or comments?
Just 61268, is that the food for the AYC?
Yes, that's the catering.
Okay.
And we'll get, that's what, we'll get back whatever. Last Saturday dinner.
What about 61265?
6.5. That is a food that we had bought for a couple of different occasions, and some of that was for our dinner.
Is there a reason why we have 2 of the catering prices for catering?
Sorry, where?
We have 2 of the Backwoods catering. Is that for 2 different events or was that all AYC?
One was the deposit. We had to give a deposit. That check was done weeks ago.
Okay.
Any other question? Mine would just be that usually we get the credit card statements of this.
You had them last
Oh.
week, Worship.
This
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
This one, 248. So why was it so much? I thought it was only $600 or something that we charged. For Bill Watson? Sorry,
That is the correct amount.
that's the amount that everybody pays?
That was including the intern.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that that was the full amount. Thought it was only $600 for some reason.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. All right, next on our agenda, we have the RCMP here today. Welcome.
Well,
It's nice to have you. Guess we need some wider chairs.
So I think they're on the whole.
I'm here with one of the other couple there. Can you introduce yourself first?
Constable Hunter Claire. First posting with the RCMP. I'm happy to be here.
welcome.
Yeah, I was looking for an interview. We're training together. It's shift 10. He's awesome. You're really happy. You thought we can say hi.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Welcome to Watson Lake. Hope you like the outdoors and mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you play hockey? Oh. Oh, perfect. Awesome.
That would be good, yes.
Can't wait to see you on the volunteer list. Okay, awesome.
Also, deal with the CrossFit gym,
Oh, perfect.
so I might get all this and shape.
Hey, I'm interested. Top of your list.
Impossible job. Awesome. Well, welcome again. Happy to have you. Must bring up the staffing levels, I hope.
It does, yeah, so we do have some changes coming up. We have offered one position to a person in Saskatchewan, and then we've got a national as well, so we're not sure. So. That's a little shit, I see the boards do actually. See this board down here? You can actually take. Names, which is awesome. It's nice to have. Over here, but it's also a bit exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, Coach Miller will be settling on in September. She's going for brighter future. She's going up to Arctic Bay. So she'll be going there, and then that's the main.
Yeah, I actually have a little bit of it, but I understand.
Yeah, so we're super excited for her. We're sad to see her go. Say she breaks my heart, but you know, that's only because she's done a lot. It's a good choice to have her. So she's going to try 100 for 4 months. And last year was will be possible, right? So we have that. Yeah, so Sappin's sort of just good. We've actually got two members that are still. That's just right now. So hopefully by the time should be after. Be good.
Yes.
And for the AVP list so far, probably largest up there,
Mhm.
there's some controls as well. I'll live with a lot of the sense. It's maybe to an area, so we've had some good conversations. Files, maybe a little bit different, like I think 10 to 12 files per month difference, a little higher, and I assume it's probably over 1 million now. This month we've had a couple other things. Have to say watch, which I'll think about the next month there. So that's pretty much where we're at.
So,
You got a picture of them trying to look
mhm.
good on their meat going there.
Oh, a little control there.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. That's great.
Is there anything that you wanted to continue seeing that go forward? Maybe just what our records there.
Council? Go ahead. You have questions?
I do not.
More of a comment, but it's,
Problem.
well, okay, so. When they were doing the safety blitz. I was heard about like senior citizens that are getting taken down and young teenage girls that could rather use their money for college, university tuition rather than seatbelt fines, but I'm warning would have sufficed. But other than that, I realized you guys, as we talked to, and people wearing their seatbelts, so.
I think, when I was speaking to that Jacob Ross, he was looking at things that we happen to know are actually very, very dangerous, things for people. So it sounds like, oh, I'd rather you spend your money on your tuition, but we have the experience of knowing that she might not even. She's not right. We just see the severity of it in a way, and frankly, if we're doing our job, we know the severity and you have no idea. Right, so I actually appreciate your comment, because that's exactly what it should be. You should think it's ridiculous. And we know what it could actually. And if we're doing our job, you never have to see.
Well, in a way, I've seen it, it did get a message across. People were wearing their seatbelts and they weren't speeding by the school once, and
Yeah.
so, I mean,
It's a drag.
the bottom line is, I think that we asked for presence in the downtown
Yep.
for traffic and
I
safety.
like it.
And it is there. And we appreciate that because he's parked there and everybody knows it. And once the highway starts getting busier and that car's parked there, they're gonna know it too. And that's what we want, because we want people to slow down through the downtown
Yeah.
and the school zones. And that's what we asked, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, the biggest thing we push here is we're not gonna choose who. we're
No,
gonna work.
no.
Yeah.
I just see this meeting, that's what
That's
we
it.
for. And I know myself, because I've written a few things. We're always going, okay, well, you know what, you're doing this, but we're coming down here, let's try to slow speed, so there is some education going on. We have done written warnings too. Sometimes when you see people in the picture, you see that I had 20 written warnings.
Yeah.
They're not getting it, okay.
Yeah, right, so it's one of those things, it's personal vehicles for, when I see speeding through here, like they had one at 95 and 50. So this is a class one professional driver doing excessive speed, it's not acceptable.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's where we like to support, when you guys want to support. Just make sure we're doing this.
That's what I appreciate so much, because that is what we see that it just boils my blood. When I see those big semi trucks or RVs that are ripping through town at 100K an hour, I inch into the intersection hoping they'll slow down, but they don't. And it just drives me crazy. So, but thank you for what you do. It's great.
And so we'll continue on that and then I'll.
Well, the foot patrol is great too, especially if we start seeing people using, the trails and stuff, then they see your presence, they know it's safe, and we want to encourage people to use it, so.
Yeah, we were able to get our. Did
Awesome.
The,
One second, is moving back here also.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. That's right.
the traffic on the White Lake Trail is really growing, is noticeable today from our local caribou. They migrated down there now. The weather's nice, so they're not on the boardwalk.
So really,
Yeah. But, yeah, it's good. It's great. Nice to meet you. Welcome again. Thank you so much. Keep
Thank you.
up the work.
any questions, just feel free to shoot me an email as well.
Yeah, back.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
In 20-25 years. this-
Get you a better chair next time.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
Take care. See you.
Okay. Awesome. All right, next on the agenda, we have CAO Lockwood. Please give us a report.
Well, I can give you a good news story
Yeah.
today.
That's it.
We were notified this morning that the $17 million for ISIP funding was approved for stage 1, phase 1 of the in-ground infrastructure work.
Yes.
So. That is good news. I can ask you later, actually. You just said 17.
Yep, 17 and change. And the tender closes on the 25th, which is Thursday. So by next week, I should receive some information to see bid compliance on bids and stuff, so. Which is good news, and the minute I know something I can release to council, I will send you all the information. We had a very successful opening of the Northern Lights Center on Saturday. Staff is up and running. I'm very happy to announce that Marie Hodson is doing a wonderful job as the supervisor over there. And she's been whipping the staff into shape and doing things, and really cleaned up building. And it looks so much nicer now, and gift shop is starting to fill up. She's been in contact with a whole bunch of artists locally and territorially, put stuff in there. And so there's books and artwork and all kinds of wonderful things. Shows are running good. I'm working with her to come up with some scripting for the staff, because as you know, some of our students are shy and it's something new for them, right? And they're there to sell the town. So I was there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, at random times, working with the kids on how to greet people and how to sort of bring them in a little better. So
Schedule.
the schedule, we're scheduled 7 days a week from our first staff starts at 10 in the morning. First show is at 11. And the last show is at 8 and our staff is done by 9. We worked out that we have enough staff to run all summer right through the fall. It's an exciting place to be in for the longest time. Tiffany and I were struggling because we didn't think we were going to have enough to even do part-time. So we're fully staffed. I was in a conference call, video call, I should say it, on Thursday afternoon regarding pool training and that type of thing. So we're working on getting the pool ops training done. So Cassandra can be doing all the chemicals and stuff at the pool. And currently, out of the 3 students that we sent to Whitehorse last year for Bronze Cross, Bronze Medallion, 2 of them have both. And so they can work as long as we have Cassandra on duty as well as the pool manager. So we can have the pool open with 2 lifeguards. And the 3rd one needs to retest for the, whatever one is, Bronze Medallion one, whatever the highest one is. So they didn't pass, so they just need to retest for it. And then we're looking into trying to get the national lifeguard training as well here in town. So that way we can get them all certified so we can actually start doing swimming lessons. So little steps, but we're making progress, and we're not the only community that's in the same boat. We're on that call. I think Dawson City has 3 lifeguards, and that's all they can staff for the summer, but they have NL certification already. Faro has 2, and they're both, one's current NL and the other one's expired, so needs research. So we're in a really good position. YG has no pool operators for their 2 pools. So we're ahead of the game. Carcross, they've got retired people. We'd say it is a bad thing, but retired people are actually certified in running their pools, so they're not using youth. So, but it's a different scenario, right? So we're moving ahead on that front. And we're next steps, AYC's over and all feedback has been highly complimentary of the whole event. So actually I was approached today about us hosting the Yukon Fire Chiefs Convention in August. So that's something I'm going to deal with Colin on. And it would be nice to actually host that somewhere other than Dawson or Whitehorse. So they actually approached us coming down after being here and seeing how AYC ran. So, which is a really nice thing. So if we get the word out like that, that's huge.
Awesome.
And after me addressing the lack of EMS on the weekend at AYC on Friday with the premier, they promptly had 2 more staff down for the rest of the weekend after that, after me speaking with the premier, but we shouldn't have to go to that lengths to do it. But so far this month, there's been 5.5 days with not enough people to run the ambulance already in this month, and we're the 23rd, which, and those don't include the days that premier had sent those other 2 people down to cover.
But what perfect timing.
That was perfect. Yeah. Yeah, so we're still plugging away with that. You know, lift assists are another thing. We had another one this morning at 3 o'clock where the page went out to 20 people again. So anyways, we're making strides, and we had the landfill open on Saturday. The landfill itself it was steady, it wasn't busy, but recycling was standing room only. So in my mind, that shows that we need to be open on Saturdays along weekends. And so we're going to proceed the next weekends the same way. And it's nice, we've got Wayne Shepherd now on full-time at the land doing the garbage person's job and at the landfill, and he's making remarkably fast catch up on the stuff that's been lacking there, getting things compressed and packed, and we're dealing with Scrapularity on getting his compactor here, so we can start compacting some of that metal to make room. And Wayne's already, he's been provided with the manager of landfill operations manual. There's a course on it, but we can't get him on a course right now, so we give him the manual and he was asking questions, he's reading it like crazy, trying to figure out what he needs to do out there, it's wonderful. And then, so we started our first of many digs on Teslin Crescent. And, so they worked most of the day, they chased it partway across the street, got it slowed down, but it's still leaking. So tomorrow everything's fenced for the night. And tomorrow they're gonna chase it right across to the main and redo the whole line, going and service into that property. And then from there, they're moving over to the old Party Lane Clinic and doing that dig, because we know there's water coming up there. And then it's just, the list is on and on and on. So we actually had to stop sweeping the streets, and we utilities spoke to property management about watering, just so we could get, till we get these couple leaks fixed, to try and slow down our consumption. So it's bubbling up fast. So that's about all I have now, and I'm sure there's going to be questions later.
Okay,
Can I ask them right now?
quick one.
I was just wondering about, those leaks. Is that things that were just found by chance, or those are found as a result of that equipment that we purchased?
No, these are ones that have actually, well, there's some of the leaks are ones we found with testing. But the other ones are because of issues, and you can't use the new leak testing equipment until the recert was shut off, and it was shut off last week. So once they get these first digs done, then they're gonna start doing their using the equipment to try and pinpoint the bigger leaks based on the equipment, and we're gonna concentrate on the biggest ones. But so far, we've only got 2 leaks that are coming to surface right now. So it's a long drawn out process, unfortunately. But when we get a 3/4 inch line that's running full bore into the ground, it doesn't take much to use water, right?
Right. I do have a few more, but I can wait until.
Well, my comment was gonna be about the same topic, but the backfilling and then the road situation. So sometimes you're getting into the road and then having to make sure those roads are repaired to the best ability.
Yep.
Is there anything more we could do to make that fit,
Well, the only thing we could do is maybe calcium once we're done. We've been trouble sourcing calcium. We actually got a bag of it from Department of Highways. But Chad said he's been having trouble locating it. So I've asked him to reach out to procurement at Highways.
Yeah.
To see where they're getting it from.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be readily available in Edmonton, and now maybe one place in Saskatchewan. So we're chasing a lot of places use liquid.
Yeah.
Which liquid doesn't work for us, because you need E-trains to do what you can do with a bag,
right?
because you're paying for the water.
Something on that back going too, is it's super dry. So
Yeah.
Well,
Let's get it rated.
not even that,
Get it.
the roughness.
Yeah, so they're trying to stay on top of it, but if we get lots of rain and snow, then it makes,
Yeah.
of course, soft ground, right?
So,
So they're working towards that.
okay, all right. If there's any more questions around that, we'll discuss. They're open forum. Okay. Next on our agenda, we have number 6, which is the admin report for the rec center roof. Bless you. I'm going to read the admin report. So it is prepared by Glenn Thresh, and the purpose is to replace the roof membrane on the 2 upper roofs of preventive maintenance. Sorry. Replace the roof membrane on the 2 upper circular roofs as preventative maintenance. I don't know why that was so hard. Financial implications. So roof A, the upper circular roof is $140,375 plus GST, Roof B, the lower circular roof is $112,600 plus GST. Last year, we replaced the lower level roof membranes above the bowling alley and other front roof areas. As there were several leaks from the membrane breaking down over time, moving forward, the upper and lower circular roof membranes need to be replaced to prevent future damage to the building. Recommendation, these roof repairs were approved in the 2023 capital budget, with only one bid being received from Superior Roofing. Proposed decision and motion that council approves that administration hire Superior Roofing, Yukon Territory, YT to replace the membranes on roof A and B, the upper and lower circular roofs at the recreation center as per the quotes, for a total of $252,975.
That's without GST.
Without GST. Questions, comments?
So where's roof A and where's roof B? Like what's underneath them?
So one's the community hall and one is the protected part of the building above the
Over?
front desk. Desk in that lobby area. So any of those, there's the two round roofs, so those membranes are only a life expectancy of 20 years and we're at 25. And based on the other ones breaking down, it's just a matter of any, this is gas pack eligible project.
Right.
What was, do you recall what we budgeted for that?
I think we budgeted, bear with me, I can tell you, but it was in the amount to cover that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So originally it was like 600 something, 200,000 for the whole, was that for the whole thing, or that was just the section we did last year?
Yeah.
So that was for all of it?
No, let me go back.
I'm just wondering if this is part of that 600, whatever it was, or if this is in addition to that.
Let me look at last year's admin report.
Because I know that we approved it in capital, but I just can't remember if it was like, remember it was like 675 or 650 or whatever it was. But I thought it was for the whole thing. And then we had some work done last year,
Well, there was.
which I thought was for the whole roof, honestly.
No, when you guys voted on it, was presented it as route 1, 2, 3. 2022.
So you're just curious if we budgeted for the roof as an entirety or what's the?
Yeah, like,
I think last. year-
another time we approved an amount that was like 600 something, and I'm wondering if that was for the cost of repairing the entire roof, or if that was just for those sections that we repaired last year. If this is like part of that 600 or in addition to, because if that's the case, then we're already over milli into this roof. And I was just thinking about, I know you said to replace the whole thing was like over 10, which is like crazy. But I'm just trying to understand the whole picture, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just looking for their quotes from last year, but I believe last year's work was in the $280,000 range.
So that plus this, and then is there any sections left over that will not have been repaired after this?
Yes. So, but we're not looking to do them now. There's a couple little patches and that's on the bowling, or not bowling, the curling rink and the skating rink. Those are two totally separate things that we had planned not to deal with because of the size and they're a different type of roof.
And they're not leaking?
They're not leaking. There's a couple little drips, but they're a metal roof. So they,
Okay,
yeah.
so then maybe that makes sense that the entire,
Project was 6.
like for the entire project was 6 something.
Yeah, there's-
And does this mean, Cam, then that all the roofs have been fixed then that need to be fixed?
You just said.
this-
Okay, repaired, bandaged.
Yes.
So I got so many emails from them. Yeah, so last year's bill was 200 and roughly 250. 236,000 was last year's.
236,000.
Plus two.
Yeah, because the bill, progress claim was 123,000. There's a deficiency holdback, and then there was outstanding was 118,650, but that's including GST.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so it's close to the six.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks for that. I mean, those are just my questions. I have no issues with us obviously repairing, bandaging the roof.
Yeah.
And this, the new work, your worship, it comes with a, I believe, a 10 or 15-year warranty. It gives us
That's
that
nice.
cushion.
Yeah.
Sometime.
I do need,
I'll make a motion, that we approve the, recommendation from admin to hire Superior Roofing.
I'll second that.
thank you, Councilor Hanchar. Thank you, Councilor Paquette. Any more questions or comments? All in favor? Carried.
And inform you, your worship, he's prepared to start on June 1st.
Perfect.
Right.
What if we didn't approve it? Okay, that's
I
great.
said he was prepared.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we have number 7, which is the ski chalet roof tender. To replace the roof on the ski chalet due to leaking and in several areas in the chalet, women's washroom, bar area, main day area, and at top of stairs. The fascia is loose and ready to fall off and needs replaced. The cost estimate on this is $100,000 plus GST. The ski chalet needs a new roof. There's damage to the roof, decking around vents, and the valleys of the roof. The recommendation, these roof repairs we approved in the 2023 capital budget, with only one bid being received from Superior Roofing. Proposed decision / motion that council approves that administration hire Superior Roofing Yukon Territory to cover the decking with 3/4 inch plywood and install shingles over the entire roof as per the quotes totaling $100,000. Question or comment?
So taking the tin off and going shingles?
No, we're gonna go over top of the tin, because the tin is a standing seam, your worship, and then it'll go right to it. That's the recommendation from the roofer, and he's a professional roofer that's certified.
What can it look like?
And then the shingles, the shingles are a 40-year shingle that he's proposed to put on there.
They'll never last 25 though,
25 is more than probably the buildings. We're at.
so.
Okay.
Then we'll look, Councilor Hanchar beside me expressed the same concern that I had. Won't that look goofy?
No, you won't even see the roof. You won't see it.
You won't see the tin
No.
and the plywood.
Oh,
and the
okay.
shingles on top?
I just picture like the tin that's like that with like this.
Wash and cover it, so it looks just the same as. Yeah,
That's why
fish and everything. It looks
Okay.
like a whole new roof. That's all you'll see.
You won't have the contrast of the red roof versus the building.
Exactly. It's gonna be a dark colored.
And is that sufficient? Just covering it up
Yes.
like that? That's, I mean, I don't know anything about roofing. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
The buildings can support all of that weight then. is
Yes.
what You're saying.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, is the weight of your roof. Right? The roof is, yeah, if you can move it on, you can leave it on.
Which will also alleviate some of the issue with like the
sliding of the snow.
sliding of the snow, which is right on the deck and
Causes
some of
more
the
damage.
drainage and,
That's correct.
but also the weight would stay up there, so.
Yeah.
Then all those valleys, but with the good venting, because it's on top of the tin, it should probably be okay.
I do also like the 3/4 inch plywood. They're redoing the decking there. It's seems how they're fixing it, they might as well fix both things. I like it.
All right, any other questions or comments? Good. Have a motion, please.
I'll make a motion. Go ahead.
You go.
Make a motion to approve the administration, hire Superior Roofing IT to cover the decking with 3/4 inch plywood and install shingles over the entire roof as per the quotes, totaling $100,000.
Thank you, Councilor. Yeah, second. Thank you, Councilor Burtis. Any other questions, or comments? All in
No.
favor? Okay. Okay, moving right along. Next is the heating fuel tender. Purpose provide council with the tender award recommendation for the supply of heating fuel to the town facilities and staff residences. In addition, an invitation to tender was released on April 18th and closed on May 9th, 2023. The tender was emailed directly to 3 local suppliers for consideration. The 1-year contract with supply and delivery of heating fuel, which has been held by North 60 Petro for the past year. 2 compliance bids were received upon closing. Both bids came in at a variable rate and both can provide notice of rate change as requested in our tender document. Although Dayu Fuels is giving a 5% discount on their posted rate and do not charge carbon tax, their rate still came in higher than North 60 Petro, with the difference of approximately 20.2%. Is that okay? So with a difference of 20 cents. This is due to North 60's Petro's supplier rack rates being lower, which was attractive in their submission for reference. So the recommendation being that to award North 60 for a 1-year term.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, Councillor Slager. Thank you, Councillor Hanchar. Any more questions or comments?
No.
All in favor? Carried. Okay, number 9, as per some discussion we had in our previous meeting, there was some discussion around the bylaw 99-17 being the volunteer fire department bylaw. It is very old and outdated, 1999. Looking to revamp that. We've already had some discussions with several firefighters and we need to update. So this would be a motion for the first reading so that we can open it up to the public and have it be available so we can start working.
I'll make a motion for first reading of the volunteer firefighter bylaw or fire bylaw.
I'll second.
Councillor Hanchar and Councillor Burtis. Any more questions or comments?
So when you say this is open to the public, so then we just let everybody comment on it? Is that the concept?
Yep.
Okay.
Get as much feedback as you can.
And what, do we need to set a date for when we're going to discuss this again?
Yes, we tabled to one of the next committee of the whole meetings. If they can come back.
The next one is really soon.
Not tabled. We want to do first reading now.
No, but but you're doing first reading, but we did return date.
Sure.
That's what she's.
Yeah.
So the next one is June 6th, and it can be put on that agenda and then discussed like with you, and then if there's more input, you can have it put over to the July meeting.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, just because you want time for people to make comments, right?
And I need also to.
Can we talk to firefighters and fire chief?
Get as much feedback as you can.
I'm just asking because people are considered staff, so.
Okay. So I had the motion. All in favor? Carried.
With return date position.
Well, we're gonna put it on the committee of the whole for June 6th, then we'll try and set a deadline for the fall when we do that, so that it's prepared and ready the rest of the year. Is that fair? Okay.
Well, while we have this up here, specifically, what do we have that was so terribly out of, like, I understand it's from 1999. It's an old bylaw. We're gonna look at it. But what,
Did you find anything that you didn't like on
I'm looking and no.
it? Okay, that's good.
It's just,
I noticed.
it just needs probably a, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
And
off.
even things in the bylaw, the one thing that I did actually have issue with is the fact that we pay our firefighters $20 an hour to go on calls, which is basically like, 3.25 past minimum wage, and hasn't been updated in countless years and we're not.
Yes, that's why we're
But
reviewing it.
but it doesn't, but here's the thing, it doesn't say, all it says as far as wages are concerned, let me find it here.
That was
And
also
some is
my question. It's not
determined
mentioned.
by council.
It's-
Whoa.
And-
Thomas, just wait. Thomas, finish.
Oh, my apologies.
I think Councilor Paquette actually found it where we're looking for, where it says that, council is in charge of saying how much firefighters get paid. So I can imagine that it hasn't been increased since this is all the time I was there, it was still $20, so I imagine, you know what I mean, like, that's the one thing that I would recommend that we look at and updates.
Okay,
The other thing it says in here for each drill and then for each fire, so meaning that they get a separate pay depending what they're doing.
There's a little wordsmithing that could probably happen as far as like firefighting, like training allowances versus active duty. Rates of pay, if you want to look at it like that, but that's one area, but it's not, it doesn't mention specifically what it will be in the bylaw, it just says council will, so that's just the only thing.
great discussion, and I think we'll open it up, like committee of the whole, bring that back, maybe have something a little more formal to supply to administration, or a better,
Sure.
you know, really clear idea what you're looking.
Did you notice more? You're gonna-
Well, for the committee of the whole, Councillor Paquette, I think
Yeah, I
it's a
can
good
see that.
chance to really delve into it a bit more instead of this
You
meeting.
just had asked if we had noticed anything different, and
That's-
that stood out, so was it only to Thomas that you were asking?
Sorry?
Were you only asking that to Thomas and none of the rest of us?
Well, he asked because he was at the beginning of his comments wondering why we were opening this up. And then he asked, carried on to say, well, this needed to be changed. And when he asked me that, I said, yes. What would you see immediately? Because he asked me, why are we opening it up? So that's why I was asking him. But if you would like to have more discussion about this, there's plenty of time. It's the process of these bylaws.
I'm happy to hold my comments until the 6th.
Please provide detailed discussion around this for June 6th. Okay. Number 10. Because we did have an all in favor, it's all done, first reading, okay. Number 10. We have our letter from Minister Mostyn. We sent him a letter regarding our.
Do you have a copy of that letter?
With me now.
Okay. I mean, it's not end of the
You want me
road.
to read?
I'm sure based on the, yeah, please.
I was gonna read the response. Because he was asking us for a meeting time at AYC, but instead we wrote him a letter in hopes that he would
Right.
communicate with us at AYC.
I mean, based on this, I think I can pretty much tell what.
So I'll read the letter. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your letter dated May 3rd, 2023, requesting clarification on the status of funding for in-ground infrastructure in the town of Watson Lake. The territory has shifted from the response phase of the pandemic to the recovery phase. Current economic conditions, including rapidly rising inflation, labor shortages, and constrained supply chains, have resulted in a reduction in planned infrastructure spending for 23-24 as the government seeks to maintain its strong financial fundamentals well into the future. Despite the need for measures noted above, there is a need to ensure funding for crucial infrastructure projects in Watson Lake and across the Yukon. The 23-24 Government of Yukon Capital Plan has identified between $6.5 and $12 million over the next 5 years for infrastructure upgrades into the town of Watson Lake. Much of this budget comes from our agreement with Canada under the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Fund. The capital plan also identifies a significant budget for rural land development. And with this, we are moving forward with the Francis Avenue development. The infrastructure development branch can provide details on the status of the design and construction of various phases of work that are underway for both the infrastructure upgrades and the land development projects. I share your commitment to a healthy, strong, and resilient community. This project is important, and the government of Yukon will work with you to ensure we are accessing the most appropriate sources of funding for future phases. Thank you for being a strong advocate for the needs of your municipality and for bringing these questions to me. If you have additional questions, da-di-da-di-da. Richard Mostyn, Minister of Community Services.
All right.
Questions, comments, please.
6.5 and $12 million over 5 years is absolutely nothing for starters. That is ridiculous. It's annoying that he's like, this is basically like a thanks for coming out letter. It's annoying that he's basically like, sorry, we're spending this like minuscule amount of money, but look at these lots we're doing, because that's gonna make your water and sewer problems go away. Look over here while I distract you. Anyway, find it the whole thing infuriating.
That's what I got out of that, so.
Mr. Slade,
Yeah,
it's kind of,
but we have to figure out a way to get more money to do the things that, like, the lots are gonna happen, yes.
Yeah,
And the water and sewer is our next big, cost, because every liter that leaks out. Did we ever figure out what it costs us per liter to pump and treat and?
yeah, that's, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah,
yeah, sorry, Thomas, but
no, it calls for, but I mean, like. We need to figure out a way to keep their feet to the fire and,
continue to fund us on this major project.
yeah,
Because I know that that's just their portion of whatever we're approved by Canada, right? They have to pay like a certain percentage, I don't know what it is, if it's 25 or whatever, but even 25%, like I think 12 million times 4 is not that much. That's like the cost of the whole project 5 years ago, I know, Thomas. 48 for record, but for the project, how long ago? And now we've been told that it's like triple in price. So that's really like, we're talking like a 20-year project now, 20, 30, maybe never. Like it's kind of crazy.
I know. I don't have the answer to that.
Sorry.
But I mean, we just have to keep, I think we just keep this level of communication and saying that this is not a satisfactory level of an answer. I mean, we need you to say, let us continue to find funding for your project. Bottom line, let us work together. We will support you in any means that we can, instead of giving us the pandemic is over and now we're in a.
I don't, yeah,
You know, like
I don't feel like this, no longer an
excuse.
adequate excuse.
So we will just continue to advocate for the need for that infrastructure plan, which is very important.
And Cam, that green funding, that's not for infrastructure, correct?
Different, and if we access it, then they will not manage the project for us they won't chip into that funding.
Okay.
So it's a double-edged sword, and the way prices are increasing and all that stuff, I'm really worried for the municipality to take on those projects ourselves. Because if the last projects haven't taught us anything, it's the cost overruns and then the deficiency and warranty issues, which are costing, if not hundreds of thousands, million. And how do we cash fund that if we have one of those projects go sideways on a $100 million project, right? And we just don't have the capacity. So that's why my recommendation from the administration is that we just keep pushing the territorial government under the ISIP funding. This is the minister's response. I'm dealing with the deputy, the ADM and the infrastructure development branch. And they're telling me that there is work going on behind the scenes and there might be an announcement on some next stage funding, maybe in the fall. But
$2 million.
all we can do is keep lobbying. And the nice part is we do now have, the funding to do the next 2 years, and there will be another federal budget before we put the next stage out. So I'm hopeful, like the federal government can't just turn their blind eye on all infrastructure in all communities across Canada. Because it's going to turn around and bite them. So I'm just hoping that backdoor lobbying, those conversations are continuing. YG just had a contingent in Ottawa last week, meeting with ISIP and the Community Build Fund, which is gas tax. So those meetings are going on. So I'm just hopeful that it's going to continue and we'll be seeing change. But we are chasing that green fund for other projects on our smaller scale, like the district heat expansion and stuff, which are things that we can have their gas tax and leverage, and it's not going to be an astronomical number if we have to, deal with it, right?
I guess I'm also curious how much, if it's 6.5 to 12 million allotted for Watson Lake specifically over the next 5 years, I'm curious to know how much is allotted for the other municipalities.
Well, and.
Just
that-
curious.
That number's, that number's really askew because when
Oh,
you,
we should,
when you look at it, the 17 million to do phase one of stage one is 17, but then you also look at the numbers that I've been hearing behind the scenes that have been allotted for, well, we know there's been $3 million of ISIP put towards a lift station, but then the numbers to actually do the development of those lots, I'm hearing, 8 and higher million already set aside to that. So
I know,
how?
yeah, I'm baffled by this, right? Because like, they're clear cutting the trees, they're taking the high spot and then pushing it into the low
There's
spot.
still not enough dirt in the low spots to fill in the high spots to fill in the low spots.
A gravel pit right back there.
Well, it's all part and parcel, so it's, those are the going costs, Counselor Slager.
so, okay, I have questions
Start a
about the
construction.
17, but I'll save it for a thing. That's all I have on this.
Lauren, it actually does
Right
say
now.
for the next 5 years for infrastructure upgrades in the town of Watson Lake.
I know.
Oh, but you had questioned that. You had said, I wondered if that was just Watson Lake or.
No, I want to know how much is being spent elsewhere because I mean, how do they determine who has the higher need? There's obviously only so much dollars. How do they determine that?
I see.
And who's in charge of that?
Squeaky wheel.
And you know what I mean? That's where I guess where my question is, and like, who determines what's there?
And then when you took the premier on the tour, did you take him on some of our rough, nasty roads?
We did a good tour around it at the time. Yeah, we did. He knows about this too.
And what was his thoughts?
Well, it's only so much he can tell me, honestly. Other than that, everybody has needs. The whole Yukon is.
Put it in his mouth.
No, they're not gonna tell me, oh, absolutely, Watson, like top of the list, And the weekend he might have because,
And the tour wasn't that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
anyways. Okay, well, we'll just keep on tooting that horn to, it's. Yeah. Like Councillor Lahanter has addressed several times, like it's a long project. By the time we get to one end, the first phase needs to be done again almost. I don't know. There's really no answer to it. Okay. Any more questions or comments regarding the letter?
no,
Number 11 is a letter from the Yukon Historical and Museums Association. Like me to read it?
yes, please.
One yes, one no.
I don't care.
One no.
I've read it.
I love hearing you read things.
Here we go. All right, Mayor Chris Irvin, spelled properly, and the Watson Lake Council. 2023 marks the 125th anniversary of the signing of the Yukon Act that created the Yukon Territory, significant colonial milestone in the Yukon's history. The Yukon government announced in mid-April that it would create a fund to provide money to communities to mark this occasion. YG partnered with the Yukon Historical and Museums Association to administer the Yukon 125 Fund, which launched this week. YHMA is pleased to work with municipalities, First Nations, and community groups on the unique opportunity to recognize the territory's shared cultural heritage and the Yukon story from multiple perspectives. Yukon 125 calls on us to use the knowledge of the Yukon's past, beginning millennia before 1898 and continuing to the present to build a stronger future. Municipal governments are automatically eligible for Yukon 125 projects up to $7,500. Yukon 125 projects could be celebrations, community events, gatherings, and forums that are free and open to the public, improvements to Yukon community spaces such as signs, park and playground infrastructure, landscaping, art installations, and murals. Creative projects and performances showcase Yukon. Research and education projects that focus on Yukon's heritage and culture. Projects must occur between June first and October 31st, 2023. A Yukon 125 project can be standalone or be part of a larger and existing project. If the Yukon 125 funding application relates to a specific component of that project that meets the eligible criteria. More information can be found at this website. Feel free to get in contact with the Yukon 125 fund lead if you have questions. I'll leave all the rest out. Look forward to working with you. Any questions, comments, discussions, suggestions, etc.
Right off the bat, I thought maybe that could be something that we could incorporate into our Canada Day, but I don't know if that's something that they want to keep separate. I also think, yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of like art or something.
Well, mural.
That's something that we were already talking about, but I don't know what that means if it has to be like around a certain theme. Anyway,
Well, once upon a time, we discussed having a mural on the outside of this building.
or
What?
it wasn't the rec. Anyway,
We could have two.
We had talked about the recs. I know you're absolutely right, because when we talked about the mural inside, we talked about doing something on the outside as well.
Anyway, maybe a mural might be what we're looking for here, or unless somebody has something different they got in mind. But I don't think the Canada Day celebration money should be separate. Because I think that's like $10,000. And no, Shane and Cam, five?
We received like $1,300 and some dollars for Canada Day.
like
I thought we used to get-
1,300.
That's what used to pay for the fireworks. What happened to that?
But we wouldn't get fireworks coverage because we couldn't do them in July, so. they-
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a deal. We'd get them for Canada Day, but we just shoot them off during Halloween.
Separate,
Yeah. Huh.
1,300, you said them?
1,800, it's a goofy number, like 1,326.
We just looked at that Canada Day
I
ever.
was under the same impression. Honestly, I thought that there was Canada Day celebration money for the fireworks.
Never has, not in the 10 year I've been here.
Okay, maybe. Okay,
It's actually even in the budget.
so what does that, the fireworks for Halloween come from? Just
That
our own?
comes out of our own budget.
Okay. Okay,
Hence the reason that we reduced it a few years ago.
did.
It was 20, wasn't it? Once upon a time? 15?
I think,
We cut it in half.
cut it to 7.5 and then the prices kept climbing, so we got up to 10.
And like that 7,500 would like, if you're to put it towards parks, like a park, that's like nothing, right? Like, I don't know what costs are, like.
That was actually my question. I was wondering if anybody talked to guy over there on the weekend. I was curious to know what the price point was on those. Another squirrel moment,
A
but
couple park benches or a bike rack.
Yeah, like I was gonna say,
Oh.
it doesn't,
okay,
it wouldn't be worth.
even
the-
close to it.
Wow.
Your worship, I think, in between myself and my staff, administration will put together a proposal to come to council. Because if there's $400,000 available in this fund, why not swing for the moon? And
That's right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
That's
Our June 6th meeting?
Um,
For the June 6th meeting?
That's, I will try and get it.
Okay.
So,
No, I think.
Could I-
it's a great idea.
Misread.
Is that the amount of money that's available for?
yeah,
Yeah.
400,000.
Where does it say that?
It's not in this letter.
Not in
it's
here.
the other document.
Oh, because it's
Yeah.
they're automatically eligible for $7,500
You get 75 for sure.
just for coming out.
There's 400,000 in that fund. So when you go to the application that whatever it is, Econ 125. That's where it goes through that. And I actually provided that application documents to the mayor this afternoon, so we can take a look at it.
Where did they get that money from?
It's
Anybody know?
Yukon government money.
So,
Freeman.
yeah,
On a tree.
I don't know, can we do a little survey monkey or something and see
We won't have the results for you for
what
June.
people are, I'm just throwing it out there. Because I mean, maybe the,
But it does have to.
You would
be
like
in
us saying what we
Like there's a.
spend it on.
Get it in if we want more than our 7,500, your worship, sooner if we want more than our 7,500, we need to get something in sooner. The longer we wait, at 400,000.
We'll turn it into the 7,500. Yeah,
it's first come, first served.
I think that's a good idea though. Bring up some
Have you got
ideas.
some ideas, Cam, right now, or?
One that's been tossed around so much is the signpost for us saying Watson Lake. Maybe then on the Kit Kat bar would have said Watson Lake.
That was impressive though. That was really, really cool.
So
Yeah.
those type of things, but you know, that signage, that's 10 grand, right?
Could you-
Right there.
Maybe do like a mural slash heritage joining. We do the mural and a bunch of signage. So that it's Cascade integrated. So we're taking the Cascade Heritage and our own and crossing them for, we need $100,000.
I guess the problem is trying to get feedback from the Casca before the deadline, or what we.
That's the hard
advise the deadline.
Letter suffice? What?
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
That's gonna be the tough one.
Well, let's shoot for the stars, shoot something big once the money's in the pot, then.
Oh, yeah, we just need to say that, you know, and maybe that we put in a proposal that mural is $20,000 and signage is 50. And then if the mural falls apart, then we still have the 50 to do signage, that type of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Do we have to send back what we've done with the money? Do we have to send back?
There'd be full reporting.
For some
If it was
pictures?
75 if it was for the 7,500, we wouldn't have to do any reporting.
Yeah, because they're just gonna give it.
Just giving it to you, yeah, yeah.
Cool. I think that's good.
Well, if you could provide us with some feedback from administration, I don't think that, you know, how long does it take to produce a survey monkey? I don't wanna, like, I'm just spitballing.
Screening is not.
It's the-
It's the getting
The
responses.
responses and we.
Oh, yeah.
Weeks to the next meeting.
Wasn't Harlan trying to work with us and put the same amount of money in to do a mural of some kind? So, I mean, we could still potentially
And if
tap
we-
into that.
If we get the funding, then we'll just pay for it, make it happen. Be the heroes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
Over the bench.
I was-
Would you,
do want-
okay, so we could ask administration to provide us with a couple of options that would maximize that funding?
Yes, I will pass it on to my staff. As the worship knows, I am, as soon as this meeting's done,
Yes.
I'm gone till the 2nd. Actually, I'm gone to the 5th.
The only reason I mentioned Daily Den is just because you had talked about having First Nation input. So if you're looking for First Nation input and we're having a hard time getting that feedback from LFN, then why not go through Daily Den?
On
That's
your
right.
worship, I think the problem is gonna be is the fact that they're going into election and there won't be decisions made.
Yeah. All we can do is try.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure your staff will do a great job at providing us with some feedback.
Wait,
Good. All right, moving on. Number 12, the Canada Day celebration. Where would we like it? What do you want to see? The issue being Lucky Lake is a difficult thing. I know it's been the kind of a traditional spot. But to move it in town and do something at Y Lake.
Well, and then we get through, like, I don't know, I think it'd be a lot more pull. Like
Get more
traffic.
engagement.
Yeah, that's right. If it was in town, and
I-
just from tourists even, like,
I'm in favor of trying something new. It's like been very poorly attended for, I don't know, a couple decades.
Yeah. It's time to try something
Yeah.
different.
so.
Can I just say one thing?
Can we wait till,
Oh, there's no open forum.
yeah, sorry, Janice. It's not really what do you want to say? Go ahead.
They scheduled Bible camp. And kids can't start at 3 o'clock on the days of the celebrations.
Perfect.
And the camps are going to be in for Canada Day also.
Okay.
So like be
Done by.
there at 3 or like be done here by,
They will be on the bus.
okay.
Is what I
doable.
understand.
So it'd be good to have it in town. Try something.
Yeah.
new. You have a new rec programmer.
Rec program is
Multiple sites.
On June 1st, and that's the first thing on her priority list. is
Maybe a
trying to get-
bowling tournament. Okay. We'll leave it to them. Leave it to the experts, but maybe move it away from Lucky Lake. Yeah, it's gonna rain anyway.
You're not wrong.
Okay, next on the agenda, is that okay for everybody for Canada Day discussion? Is there anything else? Good, okay. So 13 council meeting summer schedule. Guys all saw that, thought about it. And we were thinking the first meeting of July and the last meeting August,
I look at the calendar.
so it'll be July 4th, I believe.
4th in August, 29th.
22nd, your worship.
It's the 15th actually, but we could do the 22nd.
And if something wild comes up, we can call a special meeting.
22nd, yeah, exactly. So the July 4th, August 22nd. Cool. Okay. Danita, good with that? July 4th, Dale? Yeah, all right.
Name
And
motion.
Uh,
I don't think so.
well, we're canceling meetings,
Yes, so there should be.
so we should do a motion for
I'll make a,
scheduling of July 4th and August 22nd.
I'll make a motion to amend our council meeting schedule to a committee of the whole meeting on July 4th and a regular council meeting on August 22nd.
I was thinking.
Councilor Hanchar, thank you, Councilor Burtis, all in favor? Carried. Okay, so with that being scheduled, we also had a meeting with Mr. Jordan Stackhouse today. And he's got another funding pot that is quite exciting to discuss with us, and he wants to come down. We want to revisit our strategic plan, kind of just do it's our last year, where we at, what do we want to see done? Just kind of get him to help us get some direction on that. If that's okay with everybody? Yeah, but he also, the funding pot thing is quite exciting. We had a good meeting with him today, and he's got it's number 15 under the rapid housing. So, but he wants to come and do both of those things on June 6th.
Sounds great.
So your worship, he'll actually be here on June 6th, just to discuss at number 15. And then on the 7th in the evening, he would be with council for a couple hours.
I cannot do the 7th. The 7th is the regalia dinner for the school and of course-
I'm not going.
And
Yeah, Kaylee,
Yeah, that's right. I
Sorry,
get.
what was the question? Sorry.
we're trying to set up a meeting date with Jordan.
Oh, and nobody wanted to do the 6th?
So,
The
so the 6th, you have a council meeting.
Yeah.
So I guess he could do the 6th if council
Wants to pull- Wants to pull an all-nighter?
Well, the 5th, I don't know.
I could do the 5th, but like the 6th, the night before a huge dinner, like.
So maybe the 5th,
Well, we can talk to him about the 5th.
it's just the Monday.
Yeah.
And then we can do our.
I can see the sort of, yeah.
Okay,
I am indifferent.
the 5th would be ideal. 6th, I'm indifferent as well, but 7th is not going to work, obviously.
Mhm.
Okay,
Or we can do the 6th, like, it doesn't matter, like, if we
Get a big long night.
2 hours
I won't be there.
on the 6th, no?
Well,
We'll record it. Just kidding.
Dinner on the 6th.
kind of important though, like I'd like to have everybody there, just.
Let's try the 5th.
I mean, if we could reschedule this 5th and 6th, I'd appreciate it, that's all.
I will message him.
Okay. Okay, thanks. That's good for scheduling. And then graduation ceremony invitation and annual bursary. I'm sorry, why is this? on here?
You have to, they've asked you to give a speech,
Okay,
invited you
yes,
to also present the bursary.
love to do that. I will attend.
Bursary is in the amount of,
$500.
And then we need a motion to approve the bursary, I believe.
Okay, do we know? We don't know who that is.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know. Is that, oh, I don't, do we need that for the record right now?
It's to the valedictorian.
Yeah.
And that has been determined?
yes, Kelly Burns is there.
So then you can make a motion to approve this bursary.
Okay, I'll proudly make a motion, maybe Dale will second it. I don't know if he can,
I'm not going to, just because.
but
Got you.
make a motion to provide the Zach Bell scholarship award in the amount of $500 to Miss Kaylee Burtis.
I second that.
Thank you, Councillor Slager.
Actually, I'm in favor.
All in favor?
It actually says it. in the
Carried.
letter.
Yeah,
Oh, whoever asked that.
just,
That was my fault. I missed that.
And you're good to present the,
Yeah, happy to. Yep,
perfect.
I will be there. Okay, so number 15, back to Jordan Stackhouse. He has some money available in the larger amounts. And they're all associated with rapid housing. And he is willing to create us a proposal that will get us as much dollars as possible for the rapid housing. Cam, you're gonna have to help me out.
I was gonna,
I don't know.
can you
what that
please
is.
elaborate?
So
Yeah,
the federal government announced the Rapid Housing Initiative, and it's being handled through CMHC.
Right.
I've sat through a presentation on it, which led me in a circle that I thought we were dead in the water. So, I met with the CMHC when they were here at the AYC, because that's who the woman was that was sitting there beside Lance Branch. But it's, yeah, Jillian Harder. That the money is there to incentivize or develop more housing in the communities. So there's massive pot of money through the feds. So I asked Jordan to research it on our behalf to see if there were the ins and outs and talk to everybody involved. And after we had a conference call with him today, and he believes that there's a lot of money we can access for maybe doing grants for people to build houses to go towards their mortgages with, with caveats on it that, you need to live in the house for 3 years, and if you don't stay, then you have to pay back a percentage, right? It'll help with down payments for incentivizing to build houses in the community. So the little things like that can go towards other development incentives. It can maybe fund incentives for people to build garden houses on their property that's allowed in the bylaw now, so it creates more rental properties in the community. So there's all kinds of avenues of funding that's available out there. It can possibly going to help with water and sewer in some areas, or the expansion of district heating if it's going to be used towards heating of houses. It can go towards
Services.
services, so like increasing playgrounds and anything to do with trying to incentivize people to develop houses in our community and set boundaries. So there's all kinds of different ideas out there. So that's what we were asked Jordan to come down and actually present to council on the 6th. The problem with this federal funding is they've designed this stupid program with an application window of 45 days. And it opens on the end of June, and from the end of June, you have 45 days to get your proposals in. And after that, it's done. Never again, based on what, unless nobody.
That's crazy. Well, that's just, yeah.
Unless the money isn't all used up, right? So so he'll come down and present to us a bunch of different ideas and options to see if council's interested in any of them. And if there is, then he will develop the proposal for us to submit in that 45-day window. Because right now we're not doing anything other than relying on YG to incentivize
incentivize.
Yes,
You mean?
get people to build or develop or come up with new rental properties in our community. So anything that we can do that assists that. It's not our money. It's money that we would manage from the federal government. So.
And even Jordan's services was covered.
It would be covered in the fees. So, in the administration of the program. So it's something that administration doesn't have the wheels or the knowledge to deal with. Hence the reason I reached out to Elevator Yukon to research it on our behalf. Because I know we would never meet the 45-day window and actually have a plan in place to go. So, if we get something out of it that council likes and we can access, it's a win-win because it's new money, found money that we wouldn't have any other way. So if we can access $1 million that goes back into our community to put some incentives in for people to maybe put an in-law suite in or a garden suite or a carriage house.
Sorry to interject, so is it more geared towards developers or low-income housing people, or is it?
It's
Everything.
all inclusive. So if we can give an incentive to a developer like Bergeron Contracting to build their condo project that they want.
Yeah.
That's part of it as well. Or if it's to go to a private individual that wants to swing the hammer and build his own house, it's all inclusive.
It also would cover consulting fees. So if we had to create the market profile that we were talking about for Watson Lake, so we could create a picture of what our market looks like to provide to people trying to build a house or buy a house
Or get a mortgage.
or get a mortgage. It could simplify that process, right?
So there's some, it's a pretty well carte blanche out there for ideas to anything to help. Even if we got one new house built in Watson Lake, it's a win, right? Because it's a new house for putting people in and it's tax revenue coming back to the municipality. So if we can get something more grandeur than that, it's a real win for us, right? So it doesn't hurt for us to listen to Jordan to see what he figures that by talking to the rapid housing people and CMHC and leaching all their ins and outs, and CMHC said they would be the sounding board for a draft proposal going to them. So, you know, we're not submitting something that they know won't get approved. So
Well, that fits in with our strategic plan of.
That's what I meant.
Housing,
Exactly.
perfect.
So, yes, so anyway, so that's what the conversation today was on that conference call. And like I said, he wants to present to council on the 6th. And if we can offset him to come on the 5th to do the other stuff, and then he's doing staff training for my supervisors as well. So it's sort of a win-win. So
I just kind of thought too, like there was some discussion about housing in our strategic plan. So it's kind of a good chance for us to bounce some ideas off Jordan that could maybe include into that proposal. When the way Jordan made it sound was like he wants to make a proposal very strong, but also make it very all-inclusive. So if we can lock in a certain amount of dollars, we can use it for all sorts of things, you know, and we can really incentivize the housing.
Be nice.
Yeah. Okay. That's all.
Sounds like a Watson Lake rebuild, which is kind of cool.
Thanks.
Okay. Counselor open forum. Oh, boy. Counselor.
17 million. Oh, sorry, I'll start. 17 million. I was just wondering where that number came from,
that was.
but it was like 11 forever.
Yes.
11 plus 3 that we chipped in or whatever that we did. Sorry.
It was.
Remind me then.
The original proposal that went into ISIP was 11 million. That
Right,
was 8 million for water and sewer.
right,
And 3 million for water, sewer and streets and 3 million for the lift station.
right.
For a total of 11. So when everything went back in this day and age in the dollars and cents, that left 8 million for doing the design and the construction of that first phase 1.
Right,
So then based on other contracts that have been closing with YG and the dollar amounts on these other water and sewer projects and stuff that's coming in, there was the review and analysis, and hence the proposal went back to Ottawa. And it is well, it was in an email.
I mean, that's great. I'm just saying that, that's been my concern all along, was that if we don't have enough money for this the chunk of work and all the bids are coming in at X amount of dollars, and the government was very clear that they're not coughing up any extra or like making up the difference. So leaving us to believe that the only option was for our phase that's already been clawed back to be clawed back even further. So that's why I'm asking, because I don't recall hearing 17 before.
No,
No.
I did announce that at one of the meetings when I said the proposal went back to Ottawa. So of that 17 million, 2.454508 is for the design, planning, and all the engineering costs, and 14,457,500 is budgeted for construction. So until it closes on Thursday, and we won't know if there's anything that comes in that's compliant
And that's the total amount, that's been approved.
for phase.
And,
phase one.
and does that give a breakdown of how much was from the feds and how much was from YG?
That's just the ISEP funding period.
Okay, so they,
So out of
We haven't
17
covered
million,
anything.
the territory is paying 25%.
okay. I was just thinking about, before when you were talking about scripts for the staff. And I was just wondering, I feel like we may have maybe talked about this 100 years ago, but has there ever been thought about, especially for like staff, especially like inexperienced staff, new to the workforce or whatever, some sort of like customer service training of some sort where you like actually learn how to talk to the public from somebody who maybe like specializes in those types of things. I mean, arguably, maybe I would take that. I mean, I think everybody could probably use a bit of that, just especially when you're working in the tourism sector or whatever, even at the rec center, knowing how to greet people properly, knowing how to talk to people properly. And I mean, it's one thing for your manager to tell you what to say, but I think there could be some benefit from having somebody who actually specializes in that.
Yukon Government Tourism has been down in the past and offered to put training on. There was really no uptake in the community, but we're also chasing TIA, which is Tourism Industry of Yukon, to come down and do training as well.
And yeah, and that's great. I just like to make it mandatory though, like for people who, for us, but anybody, I mean, I think maybe that might be a thought.
Well, to ease your nerves or conscience, I guess. I know that a script has been developed for our Northern Lights Center group.
That's what we were just talking about.
Okay,
Yeah, that's why I said that.
no, it has been developed though.
Okay, bye.
Avery wrote it for Dominic, but
Well, I know that's what we're just talking about, but I'm just saying. Okay,
So
anyway, that's
that's
just,
something that we're working towards, and
Mhm.
the other thing I forgot to mention is that, I think I didn't mention it, but we're running the open house. We're running an open house at the Northern Lights Center next week on
Mhm.
the 22nd, 23rd, no, that's not right. That's this week.
30th, 31st, and 1st.
Yes, so 30th, 31st and 1st is from 4 to 8. It's free for anyone to attend the Northern Lights Center and watch the shows and see the new technology.
just one last thing. EMS, you mentioned that, you know, we all know that we didn't have service the weekend of AYC and they were able to get people to fill in for whatever days after that or after. And I think you said 5 extra days or something, or
No, there was 5.5 days this.
the rest of the week or something, whatever it was. I'm just wondering, like, has there been any improvement like since then? Like, has there been an issue since then? Has whatever the problem was been resolved?
No.
Like
It's probably gonna get worse.
like they just got somebody to come down for the extra 2 days, like, cool,
Yeah.
awesome, thanks, but like ongoing.
Yeah, there's.
I guess.
There's been no communication with emergency services with the municipality.
Gee,
And it's a new minister now, so everything that we've
We reach
said
out.
for concerns have gone to community services to Boston, but now it falls under health and social. So I think maybe we need to send a new letter.
Well,
I-
just readdress the
Yeah.
previous.
I mean, I would be totally in support of that. But yeah, that was gonna be my next, maybe suggestion, just because, I mean,
At
yeah.
what point does
say it as
our,
many times as it takes.
what
to-
point does our AYC resolution make it to that point?
I'm not sure.
Well, they know about it now because it was.
Yeah, it's been.
In our meeting.
Community services took notes and took it back
Mhm.
to. the
They have to
department, but-
respond.
But they still have to respond, and some stuff, as maybe you might have remembered in your packages, has never been responded to.
Yeah,
By the.
From an AYC resolution?
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
we could, I think we'll write a letter to the new minister regarding EMS, which would be, Minister McPhee.
She Health and Social.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. You're right.
And we'll just readdress previous letter, but we'll also reiterate our resolution in AYC. That was well received and going concerns throughout the territory, and I'll CC
Just make sure,
Mayor
Kendrick,
Kendrick.
just make sure you use the amended, copy from that was passed at the meeting, because there are a few things, revised by the
For the
board.
resolution.
Yeah. I guess my last thing was about Fire Smart. I was just hoping you could tell us about you were telling me there's like a public
So there,
thing.
yes, so your worship there, the community, it's actually on our Facebook page as of today. There's a community barbecue at the Wiley Cabin on Friday, hosted by Wildland Fire, and we are participating from our fire.
Do you know, what time that's at? I deleted my Facebook.
On Facebook.
I deleted it.
Bear with me, and
Sorry.
I think it's 11 to something.
Over lunch.
You tell me. Okay, I can get it later. Anyway, thanks. Hopefully everyone can go. Because I think there's lots of concern from people in the community about obviously this potentially impending fire season.
So the barbecue is from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Wiley Cabin
This coming Friday.
this coming Friday, and we will be doing recruiting for the fire department at the same time.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Hanchar, for all your pressing concerns.
Thank you.
Councilor Slager?
I have two things. First is the moment of community pride. I don't know if anyone noticed this or not, but or seen this, the Kit Kat wrapper. It has the signpost forest on there as an attraction. We made a chocolate bar wrapper. I don't know.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
I was like, order more, because.
have them as collector's items, but I thought it was kind of neat.
I would just like to add a little comment to that. Imagine if it said Watson Lake signpost for us. Like we've talked about lots of times, and we want to make that sign say Watson Lake signpost for us. Not that you wouldn't find it if you Googled it, but imagine if it was on the bar.
Yeah, so that and where do you stand on, or have we heard anything about streetlights from my streetlights?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the last report I got from them is that it's proceeding sometime this year, depending on ATCO's build cycle and when materials arrive.
But we're definitely on them for getting it done before like November.
Well, I've been told that it's proceeding this
Okay,
year.
I heard that too.
It's not our project. All I can do is keep that.
It's something I care very strongly about.
Thank you, Councilor Slager. Anything else?
That's it. No, thank you.
Councilor Paquette.
So summer students, are all the positions filled that you had posted?
I'm still looking for people. We need, we still have one vacancy at the landfill recycling. And we have funding for it. We just have nobody that fits the funding for it. And we haven't had any more applications. We've been actually, Tiffany's been cold calling people that we've been interviewed for other positions to see if they're interested. But we did receive, green fund funding. What the requirements are, you have to be in between, I think, 19 and 30 or 18 and 30. 19 and 30.
Can't be a high school student.
Can't be a high school student, so trying to find somebody to fit that.
The
way.
university students?
And what is that position with that fill?
That's recycling and,
Just the recycling one, okay.
because there's really tight requirements on it.
Okay.
So that one we'd like to fill, and otherwise, I think we are, other than the lifeguards, we're very well off.
And how many lifeguards do we need? And they all need to be certified, hey?
They all have to have bronze whatever it is, bronze medallion runs for us.
And are they coming here still to Watson Lake, or are we heading people to somewhere else?
Someone, like I said in my report, I'm trying to bring somebody down here.
Trying to stop it here. Okay, and you don't know when that'll be?
I have no idea because I need to find instructors.
Okay.
My first priority is to get Sandra trained as pool ops. So that way we can fill the pool and start. with-
At least opening it, yeah, for a bit.
Even if it's only a restricted
Yeah.
schedule,
Like,
and then we'll grow from there.
perfect.
But the longer we don't run swimming lessons, is the longer we don't have people coming up through the ranks that can actually come lifeguards. So it's a double-edged sword. But like I said, in my report, other communities can't even hire people. So for us to got lucky with those kids up last year, it would have been awesome if all three of them would have got both of them. Because that would have, made us maybe look for one, and then we could start working towards their NL certification, but unfortunately that didn't happen, so we're at the end of the tail and we need to chase it around, so.
More about staffing for me, oh, thank you, and I do like what, rapid housing, I do love that idea for Watson Lake, I think it's great.
Anything else?
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councillor Burdess.
Is the road to the dump finished?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a water.
Oh, okay, it just seems pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it feels funny to drive, I don't know, I thought maybe it needed graded or something.
Well, we've been grading it, but the trouble is, it's that new layer of gravel. And we compacted it and it was compacted.
Yeah.
It needs to compress. So
Yeah.
The guys have been grading it.
Okay.
We've talked of that if we can find another bag of calcium, we would calcium it to help solidify.
That's all, it just felt funny, I haven't driven it until today and I was like, Jesus. You can see that it worked was done, but it just, I don't know, it felt funny, that's all.
It's the fact that it's that new gravel and it's washboard, and with the amount of traffic we've been having in the landfill, we could run the grader up and down it every day, but
Yeah.
then you risk actually blading it off.
That's right.
Right.
Okay, no, I just didn't know what the process is.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Thank you, Councillor Burtis. Since this is our first meeting since AYC, I just wanted to publicly thank Cam Lockwood and Tiffany Lund for all your help for AYC. It was very well run, and I know that you were boots to the ground for a few days, couple
Push
weeks.
to the limit.
So thank you very much for all your efforts to making us and the community look so good. It was very well received and I had a great time. I think so did many people that came to Watson Lake. Thank you, Councilor Hanchar, for your fun-filled game of pictures. I don't know how well received was it. We get lots of pictures.
I played.
6 or 7 teams.
Yeah.
Good though, that's
It
good.
was good, there was people that enjoyed it,
It's
I
good.
enjoyed it.
It's good.
Can I just build off that? I just want to do a shout out to all the town employees, because I think everybody worked really hard to, to do on extra duties, just to make the town look, more beautified, and I like that. I think it was really good.
And that's also why I pulled up the town website, because it would be nice if there was a spot where we could do a little shout out or a council announcement or something like that, and on the front page, and acknowledgements or something like that, if there's possible to do that. Okay. And how's the Northern Lights website coming? Or did you decide not to go forward with the?
Have you looked at it, Cam?
No, I was never sent the information.
Oh, I'm sorry. So he kind of did a draft page, and he moved a lot of the information that was on the old site to our town website. We just have to tweak it with hours and add some more things, but the
Okay.
majority of what was on our old site has been moved over to the town.
Okay.
And then the hyperlink will bring it to the town site.
Very cool. Okay, thank you. And the last question, don't want to put you on the hot seat, but we did talk about, just bring it up one more time, is the mock
Yeah.
EMO process and what that looks like, and hopefully get some planning done, and so we can get through a mock emergency plan.
Love
So
that.
I've sent, your worship, correspondence to the fire chief and asked him to organize a meeting of all stakeholders to go through our emergency plan and discuss everybody's roles. So that went out to him today and
And we can have an actual run through of what
yeah, I've
that's.
asked him to do it over the next couple of weeks, in the next few weeks to get it done.
Okay.
Unfortunately, as you know, depends on, there's a very small window as to when I'm available, but there's no reason that it can't be run through without me there.
Yeah.
So,
Could almost be without you.
well, then you guys can know what to do without me.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Remember the nation?
Yeah. I
I
like
one of those every 3 years at the airport.
a mock.
Yeah, mock.
But that's a mock actually scenario.
That's right, but and we also do a sit down one, and just say, say yes to do this, yes to do this.
Yeah, and it's good to have everybody know their roles because, unless you're reading it. It's funny, I was watching flipping channels the other night, and it was an episode of Heartland where they had the train derailment and it was the CAO preaching to the mayor about knowing their role in the emergency plan.
We'll see.
Due to the derailment. Yes, it's a timely thing. Yeah, so anyways, it's gone to the fire chief to organize.
It's me just expressing my own concern.
Yes.
Sprinkles on the head didn't come from nowhere. All I do is worry.
Also, I really do like the idea of having the fire chief conference here. If we can get it, I think that's a really good idea.
Cool. Okay, any more comments for council open forum? No? Okay, we don't have any in camera.
You do.
I do have an in
And
camera.
you have open. Oh, it's not open.
It's not open forum, sorry. And it's just
Sorry.
so in camera for council.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I need a motion to go in camera. It'll be quick.
Cameron.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janice. Yeah.
Janice,
For coming.
Councillor Paquette.
So your worship, I'll stop the recording and it'll be done.
Okay,
Because then you don't need to go back on, you just need to record the times you
Right.
out of camera.
we need a motion to get out and a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
And Tiffany could stay, really. Well, you don't have to.
Beat it too.